Hello and welcome to Observer TV News. It's Wednesday, November 28th. I'm Rashida Powankumar.
And I'm David Lynch. Here are our top stories. An unexpected update involving a missing mother and her newborn child in Mississauga. The Leafs prepare to play against the San Jose Sharks tonight. And Amanda Bynes is speaking out about her past with addictions. And now to our top story. A mother and child Peel police thought may be in distress have been found safe. Police were called to Sugar Maple Woods Park Monday afternoon under suspicious circumstances. When they arrived, they found evidence of a childbirth. The woman actually gave birth a year ago and kept everything from her birth in her freezer. She decided on Monday to return the placenta to the earth. The Toronto Zoo could be getting a shiny new monorail soon. The zoo board will decide tomorrow whether to accept a $25 million train from an Edmonton-based company. The zoo won't have to pay for the train. Instead, Magnové Transportation is willing to build it for free to get publicity. This train would replace the long-retired zoo monorail that stopped operating in 1994. The train would transport zoo visitors around the whole zoo grounds. Visitors will have to pay extra from the ticket to get into the zoo.
Did you get that brief message on your cell phone this afternoon reading emergency alert? This message was sent to all cell phone users. It was a test of the country's alert ready system. It's the second time they've done this so far this year. In other news, seatbelts must be in all school buses in Ontario as of 2020. The need for safety is important to the former Ontario Premier Kathleen Wynne. Wynne plans to introduce a bill this Thursday at Queen Park, where she's still a backbencher. This immediate action stems from a 2010 Transport Canada report. The report said that school buses aren't safe enough. Wynne continues to meet and consult with the Ontario Safety League and about the severity of the issue. It is less than 1 month away and Christmas is approaching. Many realtors will be flooding with packaged sugary goods. Consumers keep coming back for beverage like eggnog, hot chocolate, and apple ciders. But according to a written article written in the Walrus magazine, every year nearly 2,500 Canadians die from causes related to drinking sugary beverages. Don't say we didn't warn you. So Claire, what is new in the weather?
Thanks, Rashida. I'm Claire with your weather forecast. Well, it's currently 3 degrees, making for a brisk but not bitterly cold day here in Toronto. There's a 40% chance of flurries, but we haven't seen too many just yet. The winter weather may intensify tonight with more flurries expected and a nighttime temperature of -3 degrees. So be careful on your commutes home as the road might be icy. Thursday's forecast is looking a lot like today's, with a mix of sun and cloud and a daytime high of 3 degrees. It may prove a good chance to get a start on your holiday shopping, because leading into the weekend, we'll be seeing nothing but snow and rain. There's one silver lining: it won't be cold. Sunday looks like it will be the warmest with a daytime high of 7. Don't let the rainy weather stop you, because there are still tons of fun and festive things to do this weekend in the city. In the West End, the Junction Holiday Market starts Friday. In the opposite end of the city, the beach will be lit up for the world to see, with more than 80,000 lights illuminating the East End Boardwalk. The Light Up the Beach event begins Friday at 7 p.m. at the foot of Ludi Avenue in support of Michael Garron Hospital. That's all for the weather. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back after a short break with international news.
Cut.
What sets Centennial College apart from the rest? The Story Arts Center, a school where you can turn your creative passion into a real job. It's a small campus with intimate classes, which allows students to get real hands-on experience. Fine-tune your technical skills while expanding your creativity. Become part of Toronto's rich history, like several of our alumni, and make the Six proud. Story Arts Center is a small school with a big influence.
Hello everyone, and welcome back. I'm Chanel Semester,
Swiss authorities are investigating a video of an American tourist holding on tightly to a hang glider. The man was on vacation in Switzerland in October and took off with the pilot by his side, but was forced to hang on for dear life, literally because his harness was not attached. The tourist uploaded the video this week on YouTube. The tourist ended up suffering with only a fractured wrist and a big insurance bill. In other news, after many years, Israel is resuming ties with Chadian. President Idris Deby made a visit to Jerusalem this week. He met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The two discussed topics like tourism, agriculture, water, security, health, and more. No date was given as of when the ties will begin. Netanyahu says this is an example of how Israel can make progress in Africa and in Middle East, despite the ongoing conflict with the Palestinians. And now let's see what's happening in sports.
Thanks, Chanel. I'm DJ Llewellyn. The Toronto Maple Leafs are getting ready to face the San Jose Sharks tonight at the Scotiabank Arena. Following the win over the Boston Bruins 4-2 on Monday night, 21-year-old defenseman Travis Dermott opened the scoring with his first goal of the season near the end of the first period. Boston would tie it early in the second period with a goal from David Pastrnak, who would score again later on in the period, and Josh Lavo scored the eventual game winner with an assist from Tyler Ennis. Star forward Mitch Marner ended the night with 3 assists, and defenseman Igor Zhiganov scored his first NHL goal. And in other news, Saturday's deadline to sign William Nylander is fast approaching. General manager Kyle Dubas has been trying to work out a deal for the 22-year-old forward since this past summer. Should the two sides fail to come to an agreement, Nylander will have to sit out the rest of the NHL season. The latest rumors suggest that two sides are close to signing a long-term contract, but until that's official, trade rumors involving teams like the Carolina Hurricanes persist. And now, onto the world of entertainment.
Cut.
What sets Centennial College apart from the rest? The Story Arts Center, a school where you can turn your creative passion into a real job. It's a small campus with intimate classes, which allows students to get real hands-on experience. Fine-tune your technical skills while expanding your creativity. Become part of Toronto's rich history, like several of our alumni, and make the Six proud. Story Arts Center is a small school with a big influence.
As a kid, this beat was always stuck in my head. I would practice it anywhere I could, whenever I could. I was able to bring the beat to life. Here, I found my music.
Welcome back. I'm Jennifer Texera. Justin and Hailey Bieber have reportedly moved to Canada, and they've named Waterloo as their new home. They continue to make headlines after attending Saturday's Toronto Maple Leaf game. Sporting Mr. and Mrs. Bieber hockey jerseys, the duo shared an on-screen kiss. They also shared an on-air jab from Hockey Night in Canada host Don Cherry as he told the two to, quote, "Get a room." The Biebers continue to share their Canadian adventures on social media. Yesterday, Baldwin posted a series of vintage photos at the Toronto Christmas Market on Instagram. The celeb couple also recently shared photos of Thanksgiving dinner they hosted for their families. Former actress Amanda Bynes is speaking out about her dark past and drug addiction for the first time. In 2010, Bynes announced that she was retiring from acting, but that didn't keep her out of the spotlight. She made headlines for her controversial tweets, which included taking jabs at Drake, announcing her retirement via Twitter. Bynes is opening up about the dark time in her life, stating, quote, "It makes me feel horrible and sick to my stomach and sad. Everything I worked my whole life to achieve, I kind of ruined it all through Twitter." It looks like Victoria Beckham won't be making her return as Posh Spice in the upcoming Spice Girls reunion tour. In a recent interview, Mel B confirmed the news, saying that she hopes it will happen anyway. Reports of a feud between the two former Spice Girls have been making headlines for quite some time. But Mel B says the tour is about going back in time. They want their fans to enjoy the music like they did when they first heard the songs. So whether or not Posh Spice decides to join the girls on stage, if you're a fan, you can bet that the tour is going to spice up your life. And now to Trisha for more entertainment news.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm Trisha Salas. Alicia Cara says she's stepping away from her social media feeds after too many negative comments. She took screenshots of the comments that she received from Twitter account and posted them on Instagram. The 22-year-old says it's a huge issue with online bullying. She may take a few days off social media for a few weeks. She went live on Instagram to say how people overlook what she calls the gravity of words behind the screen. Other pop singers are also speaking out about the negativity around online culture. Shawn Mendes says that he regularly checks Twitter and YouTube to read what others say about him. He told Rolling Stone magazine on Monday that he's uncomfortable about all the speculations around his sexuality right now. Those comments often talk about whether or not he's seen around women and his actions being feminine. He's been saying that he isn't gay for years, but the online chatter isn't going away. And that's all for entertainment. More news after the break.
Cut.
Welcome back. Pride Toronto has made a controversial decision to allow police officers to come back to next year's Pride. But the decision isn't sitting well with some of the Toronto's LGBTQ community. They gathered outside of Pride Toronto headquarters for a peaceful protest early this month. Brianne Gittins has that report. I knew I meant it. Okay. Okay. Yikes.
Rashida, give me a thumbs up when you're ready.
A little more animal.
Welcome back. Pride Toronto has made a controversial decision to allow police officers to come back to next year's Pride. But the decision isn't sitting well with some of the Toronto LGBTQ community. They gathered outside of Pride Toronto headquarters for a peaceful protest early this month. Brianne Gittin reports.
We are live at Pride Toronto, where a demonstration against the police just took place. LGBTQ members and Pride members are frustrated with Pride for allowing the police to come back to the parade next year.
In their statement on the matter, Pride Toronto implies that their government funding was at risk if they did not open the doors back to Toronto Police Services. It has even come to threaten our very existence as a publicly funded, non-profit community organization.
To say it simply and frankly, I was angry. I was extremely angry. It seemed like nonsense to me that Pride Toronto would try to make a unilateral decision like this when it was so clearly the community and their membership that voted to ban the police from participating in the parade, and to just decide on their own that it was time to let them back in, I think is a slap in the face to the community as a whole.
The demonstration against the police is more than a protest. It's calling for change.
Police repression. We need to remember that if Pride Toronto wants to go in the direction of collaborating with the cops and being simply a front for corporations, it is not the same Pride committee that was set up in 1981.
I'm here today because I'm outraged at the decision of
the executive director of Pride Toronto and maybe some of the staff, that subverts and undermines the position of the vast majority of the memberships of Pride Toronto. We decided in our vast majority that we supported all of the demands of Black Lives Matter Toronto, including the one on keeping the police as a social institution out of Pride. And somehow a couple of individuals have overturned that decision without consulting the membership, without taking it to a vote of the membership. So I'm outraged around that.
The fight is not over for the LGBT community members and Pride members who don't want the police to be at the parade in their uniforms because of discrimination and racism the police have done in the past. Brianne Gittins, Toronto Observer TV News.
So, Brianne, why are the LGBT community and Pride supporters outraged over having police officers at the parade next year?
Pride Toronto has made this decision without talking to anybody. This decision leaves people thinking it's about money and big businesses. For the past few years, LGBTQ activists have accused police officers of extreme discrimination and racism in their community. So their community still doesn't trust Toronto Police Services. They're saying that having the police officers in their uniform will make the parade an unsafe environment. I had the opportunity to talk to the organizer of the event, Ashley Cooper, and the LGBTQ supporter, Gary Kingsman, recently, and both of them are outraged, and you can feel it.
Thanks, Brianne. And that's our show for now. You can find the latest news on our website at torontoobserver.ca. On behalf of everyone here at Observer TV News, thanks for watching and have a great night.